let's just try and tweak this slightly so you can see. I think I can see everything. Right, hi everyone. So yesterday during the live stream that I did, someone suggested doing something for VA, which was actually something that I wanted to do myself. And I think somewhere in the comments it was suggested doing bunting. So that's what I'm here to do today. I've pre-cut out some little triangles. I'm going for. I thought about doing something quite complicated, but it was it is with the time probably I've got to do it in just one day and actually quite a short length of time as well. I thought I'd just go with simple red, white, blue. So I've got red, white and little blue triangles, and I'll just sew them in a big line. I'm going to sort of go over the edges to overlock them so it lasts, so it doesn't fray out really quickly, which is what I'm about to start off doing. Let's say if you've got any questions, comment away. I'm going to carry on working. I'll keep glancing up every now and then, and you know, if you want to say something, please do. I'll try and talk back and answer questions if you've got any questions. Currently I'm moored somewhere on the Trent and Mersey Canal, in case anybody was wondering that. And what I'll do with them, I'll hang them somewhere either in or outside the boat once I'm done. Anyway, so let's go get on with it, and hopefully everything runs smoothly as planned, but I guess we'll see. So this machine here is what is called an overlocker, and I'll show you what it does in a second once I've done it to this one. It's got a mind of its own, that one. Okay, so you can see what it does. I'll try and hold this up to the camera, but if you notice, it puts like a little edge on it so the ends won't fray out. I've only done two sides because the top edge I'm going to sandwich. It's not really ideal, but I've got this like ribbon stuff, and I was going to fold it in half and sew over the top edge so it doesn't fray out on the top edge. So rather than spend loads of time doing it, it's not needed on that edge essentially. So I've basically done 6 of each color. So one down, a lot more to go. I'm sure somebody out there, hi, I'm sure somebody out there is much better at maths than me and can tell me how many there is in total, because I haven't bothered to work that out and I probably should have done. But anyway. The other thing is when cutting out a rails, my equilateral triangles are not quite equilateral. So I've sat them all a specific way around, so the top edge, which is slightly shorter than the other two, hopefully stays the same throughout, so it's all consistent, but fingers crossed I get that right. I might actually, I've made lots of other different bunting which I've got on my boat. You probably can't, no, it's out of shot of the camera, but maybe once I've done this, I'll show you some of the other bunting that I've made, that I've got hung up around on the inside of the boat. It just sort of makes it feel a bit more homely. I'm not going to sort of be, I said, I didn't think this was going to be a very talkative thing, but it's turning out that way anyway. I might not be quite so chatty as normal, but I'll try and talk away. Any questions, please comment. I know that there were some issues with them yesterday, and I would I do appreciate getting comments, so it'd be great to actually, comment on anything. You've got any questions about what I'm doing? I know you can't see very good, but it's hard to get a decent camera angle on this, but if you want me to move it, just let me know and I'll see what I can do. Anyway, I'll carry on. Just trying to think. I originally got this machine. I used to make a lot of clothes, and I used to use this machine particularly for overlocking all the seams on the inside. So, you know, there's perfectly machine washable. There was no worry about it ever fraying out. And obviously, I don't really do that anymore. But maybe something if you are interested. Oh, hi, Dave. Um, in sort of like some of the clothes and things I've made in the past. I still got them all. I might have gained a little bit of weight, so some of them don't necessarily all fit me like they used to. But I'm more than happy to sort of like during one of the live feeds, I'll put them all on a load of hangers, and I'll show you some of the things that I've made if you're interested in that. It'd been nice to have been able to do this with red, white, and blue cotton, but to match the things. But it's going to be white throughout. Just don't have anything else. Right, I think it's just 2 more of the red to do, and we're on to the next one. If sorry, where do I get the fabric to make clothes? It's all come from all over the place. Basically, a lot of this is basically what I've got here is bits that are left over from various projects and things that I've done over the last 5 or 6 years. Let's say it takes up. I've got like 3 storage spaces under the seats. One of them is entirely full up with like sewn off-cut fabric bits, and I mean it is completely full up. One of them's fancy dress outfits, as you can probably gather from the other day, and the other one's just sort of like summer winter clothes, which I chop and change between. So I waste an awful lot of my very precious storage on stuff that I probably shouldn't be wasting it on. So yeah. Going back to the question though, there's obviously just there's a few fabric shops. There's Abercarn, which is they've got a shop in Altrincham, in central Manchester, and various other places around the country. They've been pretty good, and I've got quite a few things from them. The other great thing is charity shops. Just go to the bedsheet department or rail, and they have some. They're great. They're dead cheap, and it's surprising what you can make out of a bed sheet, is all I'm going to say. I think the white is ex bed sheet. The blue and the red that I've got were both specifically bought for other projects. But I've made like a dress out of a bed sheet and gone out wearing it. People complimented me on the dress, so you never would know. I made some dresses out of some weird things as well. I did make them once out of a shower curtain. But it really didn't look like it. I'll probably dig up some photos. I don't think I've got that dress with me though anymore. The only trouble with it is because it is sort of waterproof. It wasn't like breathable, so you wore it and you was roasting hot. So it wasn't practical in any shape or form though. But it looked good. this machine's quite good because it's got like a little blade beside the foot there, and if you like got some sort of like, you know, bits where it's frayed out, it trims them off. So hence, like, there's all these little bits here that sort of gather from where it cuts them off, which is great. But if you accidentally slip while doing it, you can tromp a massive hole into it. So you've got to be careful. Right. So as you can see, all the red ones are now done. So I'll pop them to one side, onto the white. It's going to be a little more boring because, well, it's probably all a bit boring, really. But this one's going to be, you're not going to really see anything's been done. So we'll just whiz through this as quick as possible. I was thinking about like I've made Bunting loads and loads of times. I was thinking about maybe on one of these, just like putting all the names of somebody who comments like into a list or something, and sort of at the end of a live stream, sort of sometime, I'll maybe make something. Do this, not this particular one, but I'll make something a bit more sort of interesting, something sort of more narrowboaty themed or something, and maybe give it away or something to whoever, you know, to somebody who just happened to comment or watch on, or, you know, basically comment on the video. So, you know, I'll stick it out the post, but maybe that'll do something for the future one time. Obviously, if there is something you'd be interested in, let me know and I'll make it happen. So I say I've got absolutely loads of little offcuts of fabric, so it's just a case of having a good dig around, see what's of interest and sort of what looks nice and what I think would make it. It's like up here, you can't see it. I'll move the camera eventually, but I've got like a sort of skull and crossbone sort of style Bunting. Up here I've got like little pink and red hearts. I think I've got mermaid Bunting, of course, in the bedroom there. So I've done quite a few different ones over the years. So this is sort of like something I've done a lot of. It's probably going to be something that lasts way longer than I thought it would, because I'm going to keep talking rather than getting on with the job in hand. Just trying to think if I've got anything to hand which I could show you that I've made clothes-wise. Maybe at the end of this video, I'll quickly rummage in the wardrobe, see if I can grab a dress or two that I've made, just so you can see some of the more complicated things. Because everything I've made sort of on this video so far has been quite a basic thing. But I have done some really quite complicated things before. I know that sort of everybody that's watching are probably from all over the world and in different places. But if you are from the UK or somewhere that is celebrating VE Day, what are you doing today? Because obviously, normally I'm guessing there'd be like events and things going on, maybe like village fetes and possible street parties and that type of thing. But obviously, under the circumstances of what's going on at the moment, we can't go and do those sort of things. So it'd be interesting to see if anybody is doing anything particular to mark this, what they're actually doing today. I was watching the TV before, you know, obviously at 11 o'clock when they had silence, and it's sort of quite touching watching some of the sort of things on there. Anyway. It sort of puts me into perspective, me worried about messing this up on a live stream when, you know, let's face it, there's no real hardship on that, is there? It just makes me look a bit of a fool, but let's face it, I did make the rusty cutlass as well, so, you know, there's nothing to do there. Right, I don't know how many more. Is it down to the last two white ones? Let's just whiz through these quickly. I would talk, but I very much doubt you'd hear me over the machine. So I'll just get on. I tell you what, something I've become a bit conscious of is I always seem to be wearing the same things. I've got shelves and shelves of clothes, but I always seem, you know, and I've got probably thousands of things to wear, and I wear the same thing continuously. So once I've done this, I've got the washing to do, which I'm hoping to pre-record for you all to watch how I do the washing, because I do it on the boat and I don't have a washing machine. So I'm sure you'll find that quite interesting. So that'll be a video for maybe a few weeks' time. Because I tend to shoot things and it takes a few weeks before I get it in my head from the clips that I've got how I want to edit them. So the other thing is out of everybody there, sorry. You've gone to March. That's interesting. Don't really know. I don't really ever recall doing anything other than, you know, obviously just acknowledging the day as such. But, you know, it's nice to actually do something for a change, even if it is just me sitting at home talking to some people online. Well, talking to my laptop and hoping there are people online at the other end listening to me. Right, white all done. So onto the blue. Yeah. There was something I was going to say. For life of me, can't remember what it was. I'm terrible for this. Yeah, I know what it was. Essentially, I've got quite a lot of videos that I've done of me cruising this year alone, before obviously the lockdown all happened. It's not a massive distance, but I've recorded pretty much the whole length from when I left Manchester to where I sit now. I've just not uploaded them, because when I have uploaded like me going somewhere, the interest on it seems to be quite low. So if that is something you'd like, maybe I could upload them alongside other videos about myself aboard, or maybe do try and get 3 in a week or something, where I have like a live stream, something about me and something about me traveling somewhere. But I'm not really sure what people are interested in, what they'd like. I know most of it I'll just put up, but if there's something specific that people are interested in, I'll try and accommodate. Anyway. I suppose the sewing side of things, I probably got that from, well, I know I got it from my mum. My mum used to do absolutely loads of sewing when I was young, and just, I saw her doing it. I just sort of want to do the same, and I think I learned a lot of things just by trial and error and watching her and things that she showed me when I was young. I don't really know where I was really young when I sort of started do sewing. So it's something that I've been doing for a very long time. So yeah, I guess that's where it all came from. She sort of do a lot of knitting, but that's something I never really got my head round that for some reason. I like sewing because you can start a project and you can quite often finish it the same day. Where knitting is something that's it's a very long term commitment, and I like to be able to complete the things I start. And with that, I feel I'd probably get bored of it before I ever got anywhere with it. So I never really took that up. Admittedly, there are some sewing projects I've done that took me over a week to do as well. So that's probably no real reason. Anyway. Yeah, this probably isn't the most exciting of things to be watching right now because I'm just doing the same thing repetitively. But I have got a sewing project at some point because the crutch cover, which I think you've probably seen on my boat on a video or something somewhere. I want to redo the back cover because when I made that, there's a few sort of design flaws that I didn't think about. It was the first one I ever made, and I kind of want to change that around. And I also want to use different fabric, which means in turn, I basically, for how much it'll cost me, I was going to replace the crutch cover on the front of the boat, just so they both match and it looks nice because I can. And the cost of me actually doing it isn't ridiculous because it's a very small sort of well deck on this boat. Anyway, I'll just carry on. It's probably why my timekeeping's back, because all I do is talk and not actually get on with what I'm supposed to be doing. Unfortunately, because I've not got enough subscribers yet, I can't post like pictures on YouTube. I can't do like YouTube posts yet. So what I was thinking is once I've done this, because I'll obviously hold it up to the camera and that once I'm finished, but wherever I end up hanging it, I won't be able to just show you. So I'll probably post a picture to Patreon and Facebook. I would sew this faster, but the machine wobbles the table. I don't know why I'm not using my good scissors either, but right, down to the last two, and then we go on to the bit where it all comes together. So hopefully that'll then end up in some kind of a thing that you get to see. I reckon looking at this, we're probably to completion about 30 to 40 minutes from the start. Obviously, I probably spent about an hour cutting out these little triangles. I don't know if you remember the video with the face mask that I made. I had that big green board with like a pizza cutter. If you're ever going to do a lot of cutting out, honestly, I can't recommend it enough. What I usually do, so I'm doing large things like dresses, I'd sit it on there, but I've got like loads of little weights that I've made to hold whatever pattern I'm basically cutting in place and just go around the edge of it. You don't even need to mark things out with that. It's you can just, it's really good. Anyway. admittedly, I probably would never have bought that board if I'd been living on the boat at the time because of storage of it. Although it's the big green board lays underneath the mattress on the bed because the only place really I can keep it. Okay, so just one more of these to go, and then we switch over machines because this one won't do what I need it to do the next bit. Like I said, this machine's got one task and one task only in mind, which is essentially putting like this edge on things. It's like, say, if you probably look inside here, yeah, it's got the same kind of thing inside pretty much all clothes. It's this type of thing that does that, basically. Oops, I should not have just pushed that there. Okay, so that's the last one there done. So next step, let's switch that off, unplug it, pick up the pedal off the floor, and actually I'll just push this down so that should hold on all those spools there. I'll pop that to one side on the floor just down here for a moment. And then we move on to machine number 2. And untangled band wires. Now, I'd like to say I was all very prepared, but I wasn't. So I'm just going to quickly get a little bit of offcut from, which I dumped down there on the floor, just to see how this sounds, to make sure I've got the stitch set up correctly. So yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I was originally going to do them in all like a red, white, and blue within a V shape, but because each of these fabrics aren't like from the same place, they're different thicknesses, and I couldn't get them. They just don't go together right. So I've abandoned that idea. So anyway, so we're going with red, white, blue, and I think I will do that in that order as well, because I don't know why we always say red, white, blue. So, but I believe it's a thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I've got this really long bit of tape. It's not technically ribbon. I think it's some kind of an iron-on sort of patch for the back of clothes. I've never ever used this stuff as long as I've lived, and I don't imagine I probably will. So I'm going to use that for this. Because at least it would be put to some kind of use. Now, what I tend to do when I'm sewing things, so the end, because you know the end can come away quite easy. There's a little button on the front here that you push and it puts it into reverse. So, but it tends to sort of knot it up and snap the cotton if you're not careful. So I don't tend to do too much in reverse. That's enough. Just a, 3 or 4 stitches. Now, I'm just going to wing it here and sort of do a slight length at the end so you can tie a knot and tie it onto things and do that kind of thing. And then I'll start feeding in the little flags. I'll go a little bit further and then I'll start putting them in. I think that'll do me. Right, so we'll start off with red. I don't know how long this is. It's pretty long. That's good. Right. fact, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to crease it first, because this stuff does crease all right. And then hopefully it'll make positioning things a bit easier. Like I say, this is when I've made bunting before, I've got like bias binding tape, and that sort of just folds naturally, and it works a lot. It's much better. But this, unfortunately, don't have any, can't get any. So this is the substitute that I can find to make this. So I'm making it happen and doing what I can with what I've got on the boat. So anyway. I started to have a panic there that it wasn't actually sewing. Okay, so that's one in. Not going to leave too much of a gap, just to keep it flowing nicely, because at some point it'll probably, well, it will end up inside the boat, so the less space it takes up then, the better. I'm pretty sure as well that patriotic sort of coloured bunting is going to come in again in the future. So that's, as you can see, starting to come together. I'm just trying to move these so I can work my way around them. Just trying to figure out how much space I left so I can keep that distance the same. Let's say none of it's measured. I'm just winging it and hoping for the best. Blue doesn't seem to want to play as well as the other colours did for some reason. Tell you what, let's just get it sort of started, and then we'll feed it in better. Right, I think that'll go. Yeah, look, that's better, because now it's being gripped by the first few stitches. That'll go in. Right, and this, it looks like I've got the distance right, so not necessary to do any embarrassing unpicking or anything. This is where I discover I've not got enough tape and I run out or something. Anyway, let's just plod on. Let's move these out to one side. So red, so it's white now. I'm going to definitely mess this up before I get to the end. And then you get to watch some embarrassing unpicking happening. don't know why I'm so jumpy. I don't know. I did dream. That's the trouble. I didn't sleep very good last night. Is what I was trying to say. I think I had a nightmare about something, or some sort of noise unsettled me in the night, and I sort of woke up in such a start. I thought somebody was trying to do something, was wobbling the boat or something. I think it's just, like a duck or something, probably making some noise outside, and it probably just startled me. I don't know. It must have been something different. Although I did leave my phone with the sound on, and there was a message that had come through. So maybe that had that is what it was that disturbed me. But I just didn't sleep. So obviously that little handle, I think I'm probably a bit on edge still from that. It's silly, really. So as you can see, that's coming on quite nicely. We're not even halfway, are we? So it's red next. Do you know what? I've got nowhere near enough of this. I'll have to have a dig around and I'll finish it off wherever I get to, and then I'll dig around, see if I can find something else, and I'll finish that probably off for this live stream, because I don't know what I'm going to use as a sort of a fill-in for it. But I'll find something, or if not, I'll just leave them to one side for a future project or something, or maybe afterwards, let's say, make some more and send them off to someone or something. I just had this massive panic that I did it wrong, so I want white now. Had to be something that sort of went a bit wrong, though. And I say, imagine, judging by how much I've got left, we've probably got another 5 minutes left on this video, and then I'm probably going to bring it to an end. If you have got any questions you'd like to ask before I pack up, please probably pop them in now. I'll give it plenty of time for it to come through to me before I go. Having said that, as kind of half unexpected, the cotton's gone snapped. So now you get to see how appalling my eyesight is trying to rethread a needle. Anyway, then, I wasn't as blind as I thought. Bunting has now been finished. By the time I figured out how to get this, I didn't realise that this live stream was still streaming. So that's obviously now been finished. I was nearly finished anyway, just apart from the cotton. There was something stuck in the eye of the needle, which is why I couldn't thread it and looked like a complete tool. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this. Sorry about the huge gap there where everything all went a bit wrong. And hopefully I'll see you all soon. I'll post some pictures of wherever I decide to hang this eventually.